All right, what is going on, guys? Christian from the Lamprey MMA podcast, joined as always by Trent and Jeffrey. What's up, boys?
How's it going?
Episode 13, Baker's Dozen, on the episode of the Baker's Dozen. So we didn't do an episode last week just because you guys were busy, and also with the fight card, there weren't really any big name fighters on the UFC card this last week, except for Uriah Hall and Sean Strickland. But that card was fire. It was like the dark horse cards of the year. Lots of good fights. We'll just go through it real quick here. And then also, I don't know if you guys got to watch Bellator 263, but Bellator's card was actually pretty good too. AJ McKee beat Patricio Pitbull.
And that kid's going to be a star, dude. That kid's going to be a star.
Yeah.
And hopefully at some point, UFC can get McKee over because he's an absolute stud. So hopefully at some point,
I wonder what his contract looks like, how much he's got left on his contract or anything like that. You know,
they say people are saying like, make this kid your bell cow, like right now.
Yeah.
Before the UFC can get their fucking dick beaters on him, pay this fucking kid right now because they say he's going to be the consensus is he's going to be a fucking guy.
Yeah.
So just going through the UFC card, there was a couple fights that fell out just because of it sounded like there was some last minute injuries. There was some weight cutting problems. Nico Montano, who was the flyweight champ, like the inaugural champ, she missed weight by like 7 pounds. Jeez. And then she just got cut by the UFC today, just because weight cuts or weight issues have been a continued problem for her. So I think there was probably like 3 or 4 fights that got taken off this card, which might have been a blessing in disguise because it was like the perfect length and there was really good fights throughout the entire, fight card.
I'm mad that I didn't get to watch these things like live. I just watched like previews or just highlights. A quick recap of
some highlights.
Yeah.
I got to watch the Uriah Hall and Sean Strickland fight.
That was the worst
Barbarina fight.
The Barbarina fight was amazing. That was a really good fight.
I got to watch those two, and that was it.
Well, I guess I can talk about some of the preliminary fights because Danny Chavez fought Kai Kamaka. Dude, I had soft serve ice cream, and now I've got like just sugar caked in the back with a waffle cone. So there's just sugar caked in the back of my throat right now. So
I bet you that shit was real delicious right now. You know.
Well, it's like 86 degrees right now here in Fairbanks. So.
Oh dang, dude.
Yeah. So Danny Chavez and Kai Kamaka, it was a good fight, but Kai Kamaka, he ended up it was a draw in the end, and it's because he was deducted a point because he had some eye pokes, kicked in the cup. There was a couple different offenses. Obviously, they weren't intentional, but it still adds up over time. Chris Gritzmacher and Rafa Garcia was a really fun fight. Chris Gritzmacher put it on him. It was just a back and forth war, and Garcia just wouldn't go away, and Gritzmacher ended up getting the decision. But super fun fight. Brian Barbarina versus Jason Witt. Jason Witt got lucky because he didn't necessarily get lucky. He owned the first 2 rounds, and then he got so fucking tired in the 3rd round, and Brian Barbarina was not going away. And Brian Barbarina had him hurt multiple times in the 3rd round, and it was super close to getting stopped. But Witt stuck through, ended up surviving. That was a super fun fight. Colin Anglin and Melsik Bogdasarian. Melsik, I think he's the new guy that's training with Edmund. Was his the guy that was training Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Rousey and
what's his name? Edmund is his name Shabazian? Edmund or
no, that's the fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was training like Travis Brown.
And,
Ronda
yeah,
Rousey,
all those guys.
Edmund,
I almost said Targaryen. Like,
yeah, I almost said too.
Edmund Targaryen.
Yeah, dude, she's training Jon Snow.
Yeah. I can't remember his last fucking name.
Yeah. But people that are listening that are in the know what we're talking about.
If you're not a casual, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But he ended up getting a really nice head kick finish, shin to chin, dropped him, and then just landed one left-hand punch while he was on the ground and put him away. Nick Stoltz and Jared Gooden. Jared Gooden it was just over a minute knockout. And Gooden is a fucking stud. He's built like a brick shithouse, big, tall, jacked black guy. And he's not technically, like, he still has some technical work that he needs to go through. And then it'll like really, project him up into the rankings, like top 15. But the thing is his technique's not good enough yet. He has that natural power.
Yeah,
so if he just hits
for that one.
If he just hits you, he landed just like a looping hook. Yeah. It was almost like a hook straight combined, and it looked like shit, but it landed flush, and he ended up getting the win. But where that's going to hurt him is when he's fighting guys that are way more technically sound, and in the rankings, and then he'll have problems because you can't just rely on. It looked like
a punch that like Keith Jardine used to throw.
Yeah,
it was a weird one. Remember the Dean of Mean, dude?
Dude, I love Keith, the Dean of Mean Jardine. When he beat
Seattle
Forrest
Jardine,
Griffin,
dude.
When he beat Forrest Griffin, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Forrest Griffin started crying. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, at that point in his career, I probably would have too, but
yeah. Yeah.
But Keith Jardine beat a lot of people that he shouldn't have beat, I think.
He beat Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he beat Chuck Liddell.
Jardine was a savage, dude.
Yeah. But the thing is he lost to like Houston Alexander. It's like, what? And then Houston Alexander lost to Kimbo. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, that fight was one of the most ridiculous fights I'd ever watched in my life, too.
Yeah. In the women's strawweight fight, Cheyenne Baez versus Gloria DePalo, Baez ended up getting the win, and that was like the new co-main event because there was some like the Ronnie Yaya fight got dropped, and there's a couple other fights, like I said, that this card, I don't know if it was injuries or COVID or what, but
she ended up getting the $50,000 bonus, which
Cheyenne Baez,
which was great for her because she was broke as fuck, and like I guess like her 20,000 to show or whatever the hell it was, like
10 and 10,
went straight away to like her training and all that other shit, and she was like, yeah, I'm broke because of the sport, and that shit changed my life. But I mean, 50 G's is only gonna last you.
Yeah, it's great for your short term.
Yeah,
it's great short term. It's not life changing, but short term.
She beat that chick up though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that she was literally fucking cunt hair away from getting disqualified because that girl's hand literally just came up right at the perfect time when she threw that head kick. So
yeah, hey, kudos to the judges for not even questioning that.
Yeah, or the ref, yeah.
No, that's what I guess that's what I meant. Like, it was fucking close.
Well, and the thing that it's just, I watched Michael Bisping's podcast, and Michael was like, that is a training issue. Like, that girl should have never been in that position because there's a technical way to stand up. You always cover your head as you scoot yourself up. And he's like, and that girl didn't do that. She just stood up and didn't expect to get head kicked into oblivion. And sure shit, she got her head knocked off. And then in the main event, it was Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland just absolutely put it on Uriah Hall. The fact that Uriah Hall, I just looked at his record, 18-10. Like, he's just too inconsistent. And I think that's for him, that's always his problem is like, I feel like he has more issues like mentally because he has all the athletic, like he's so gifted. He has the knockout power. He has, he is the more technical fighter over Sean Strickland. But Sean Strickland is just he's crazy as fuck, number one. And
I think he's coming into his own right now.
Yeah, and he just is his confidence is at an all-time high. He's on a 5-fight win streak, which is hard to do in the UFC.
I think they just offered him
Luke
Rockhold.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold. Yeah. Like if I'm Luke Rockhold, like
I'm taking that fight because he's now number 8. He took Uriah's spot. And also I feel like Luke could put it on Sean because Sean doesn't have knockout power. He just has volume.
If he doesn't breathe on his fucking chin, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's pretty suspect.
I think that's a good fight to make. I mean, if they're gonna do one, like if Luke Rockhold does get the top 10 or whatever, like he wanted and all this shit, get him back into title contention. This is a good start, you know. If you could beat Sean, then
I hope that chin is something else, something better than it's been.
I mean, maybe it's recovered in this time off.
And and that's coming from two guys that like ain't nobody bigger fucking Rockhold fans than me and Trent. Dude. We've been on that Rockhold dick for a long time. So
the first time we saw him, we were like, dude, that might be the most beautiful man I've ever seen.
Yeah, so there is nobody who wants Rockhold to fuck people up more than me, but damn, his chin has been suspect.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I mean, the way the middleweight division is shaking out. So obviously you've got Whitaker versus Adesanya next. Paulo Costa and Marvin Vettori they came to an agreement. I think that's scheduled for November, which I think Paulo Costa just puts it on Marvin.
Yeah,
because Marvin. I think he should. Yeah,
yeah.
If he doesn't, roles reversed. If he doesn't, the same thing will happen to Costa that we said what was happening to Vettori.
Yeah,
like off into obscurity.
Decline.
If you lose to him, it's off into obscurity, dude.
I think honestly, right now, with the way Costa's been talking about like money and all this other shit, if he loses to Vettori, they might cut his ass.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be over for him.
That's gonna be like a headliner of like a fight night too, which it's like, God, that sucks because that's not gonna draw numbers. Like nobody gives a shit about Marvin.
That's just a fight of the biggest two excuse makers I've ever seen.
I know.
Costa better come with fucking heat in this fight because the shit he's been talking. This is his first fight back since losing.
But it's gonna be over a year since his last fight.
And he looked bad in that fight. Like he didn't do shit. He got dominated. And all this shit talking and excuses. If he comes back and looks like shit, that is not a good look for that man.
No. And then that's Dana basically said that Sean Strickland is going to get offered that Luke Rockhold fight. So
I think it's a good fight.
I think that's a good fight for Sean because if he wins, that's a big name.
I think that's a good one for both.
Yeah, and I think it's good for Luke too because Luke can put himself back in the top 10 and then start working his way up. So Then I mean the main thing I've been waiting to talk to you guys about, specifically Trenton, is we've got the lightweight division is really starting to pick up now, and the fight that Trent and I have been talking about and trying to just get things going in the works
for a month.
It's finally come to fruition and it's agreed upon. So Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje is going to happen. That's going to be an absolute firefight in November.
For as long as that fight lasts, it's going to be the most exciting fight that I've been waiting for for at least a year or some shit like that in the UFC. Like that's the most excited I've been for a fight in a long time. And for as long as it lasts, I guarantee it's exciting. I don't know if it's going to be a quick fucking knockout or a 5-round banger, but I imagine somebody's going to go to sleep fairly fast. And I am excited to see who it's going to be, and it's going to hurt me.
I really hope that Michael wins because I like Chandler more than I like Gaichi, but I like them both.
Yeah, I think I like Gaichi more, but I think Chandler has the more I think he has the better chance of winning.
Yeah,
it's weird to me. I don't know. But I love them both, and I don't want to see either one of them lose, but I do want to see them fight each other.
Yeah.
I hope it's a double KO or something, or like
how do you know what I mean? Then it's a draw. Then it's just a draw.
Yeah, fuck it. Like I just want to see craziness and then It ends with a double KO, and then it's like, you know what? Where do we go from here? I don't know. Let's do it again.
Let's do a rematch. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that best case scenario, you know?
Yeah. And then RDA versus Makachev is also in the making. Jeffrey, when we were talking in the group chat earlier, you were like, yeah, I mean, obviously that's a good fight to make, but it doesn't mean that what RDA had said on Twitter was that he's going to fight Makachev. He's going to beat Makachev, and then Khabib's going to come out of retirement to fight RDA. And it's like, but he already worked you once. So why?
Yeah.
Like, why are you his fucking arch enemy that he's gonna come back for? Like, that's not you, man.
He wouldn't even come back for Conor.
Yeah, that's not you, man.
That's exactly what my thoughts are. Like, he's trying to speak that into existence for himself because that's a fight that he wants. Yeah. But let's be real. That's not a grudge match or it
wasn't even a close fight. It wasn't even a rivalry.
That's what I mean. It's not a grudge match. It's not a rivalry. It wasn't a close competitive fight. It was Khabib doing what Khabib does and
take down smash.
Yeah, and that's all that is. And I don't see that Khabib would come back for that fight because not only did all that stuff happen or whatever, that he already beat him and everything, but like, why would he come back to fight him?
Yeah,
he could come back for the title. He could come back for whatever.
In the arc of this whole thing, dude. In the arc of this whole thing, like, he's not like a big like bell cow win for Khabib in his career. You know, it's like just another win. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. I don't even look back on that win and say like, Jesus Christ, that was impressive. You know, like, it's just he was expected to win and he won. You know, like,
this is what I'm gonna say. If we couldn't even get Khabib versus Tony one fucking time out of the 6 or 7 times that they tried to schedule it, then I don't want to see RDA versus Khabib 2. Sorry, like, we couldn't even get one fight with Tony and Khabib. I don't want to see a second RDA versus Khabib fight.
Yeah, the fight doesn't tickle my pickle. You know what I mean? No. Like, it's not an exciting fight. Like, that's not one I think that the fans are even asking for. So fans I don't imagine it would happen.
You guys remember how good that first fight was? And people are like, wait, they fought each other? What?
Yeah, exactly. But like, I could see this fight happening again, maybe if it was for the belt and like, say RDA was the champ and Makachev got knocked out and, you know, RDA was still the champ. Maybe it could be.
Or if Makachev won the title.
Or
and
whatever.
Then whoever beat Makachev for the belt.
But I don't see him doing it because RDA beat him. It's like, okay, now I'm coming back to get vengeance. It's like, I mean, you know, that's a stupid reason when you can have belts.
Here's another thing. I guarantee you right now, Khabib's probably weighing about 210 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen him recently. Beefy. He looks thick. He's a thick boy. And also, he's doing good coaching. None of his fighters have lost. So why would you want to? I mean, he still gets paid. He's he's a trainer at AKA, and he has all the money in the world. He's not worried about money.
I think that he is taking on like the same role his dad did.
Yeah.
You know, and that appeals to him and his family, and I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He has no reason to come back for RDA.
No.
Real quick, another thing that I was going to say that I didn't put on our list of things to talk about, but another reason why I'm starting to really fall off this Conor train is the comments that he made about Khabib's dad.
Yeah.
After. And it's like, and you know what's fucked up is like, it's one thing to post it and then keep it there. It's another thing to post it and then delete it. And it's like, dude, that's fucking bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. Especially because Khabib's
somebody called that man and was like, bro, that's not a good look. And then he deleted it real quick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And another thing that's like really kind of frustrating was even after all the stuff with Khabib, like his dad was still like, no, we would like welcome Conor with open arms here and like, you know, be respectful to him and show him like our way of life and all this other stuff. Like he was very respectful about it. Even after all the shit that Conor talked about Khabib and his wife and religion and everything else, he still was respectful and welcoming. Yeah. And it's like, and then you talk shit about him. And then Conor sent out this, you know, like like sorry for your loss post and all this other stuff when his father passed away. And now you're doing stupid shit like that. It's like, come on, man.
Dude's bipolar. You know what I mean?
Something's wrong.
My man's got issues. That's what we've always been saying. Like, sometimes that loose cannon shit, it can get you so far. But once you're at the pinnacle, dude, like the only place you have to go is down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's doing. It's like, bro, every time it's the wrong move. It's never the right move for that dude anymore. And I'm just off that wagon, dude.
Or he could just use the excuse that he was on painkillers for his leg and then he got on his phone. It's like, well, people need to fucking take your phone away. And
bro, just take your businesses and take your businesses and ride off, dude.
Yeah.
Like, live that lifestyle. You can still live that as like a fucking model and shit. Like those fucking people, those underwear people and the fucking they'll pay the shit out of him.
Somebody
dude.
said like he's talking about doing a wheelchair boxing fight.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Like, what the fuck?
Anyway,
he's like, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Dude, like, have at it.
He posts. He's like, oh, we got something in the works. Stay tuned. I'm like, who the fuck wants to see that?
I mean, it'd probably be funny as fuck.
It's like bum fights, dude. Back in the day, you remember?
Yeah.
Like, that was not
World Star.
Was on the internet when I was a kid, was out of this world. You could never have that anymore, and that's exactly what it's like. You can't do that.
Another thing that sucks about, obviously this is older news, but we haven't done an episode since this was announced, was Amanda Nunes is out. Her and her wife and their baby all tested positive for COVID. So that sucks. Obviously, they're in Florida at American Top Team, and Florida's like the epicenter right now. And that's where I'm going in a month. So,
hell yeah.
Yippee.
R.I.P., dude.
Yeah. So that sucks. And I think the thing that sucks the most is the fact that we were literally like a week and a half out from. So she's literally done this entire fight camp, and it sucks for Juliana Pena too. Yeah. But you work your ass off, you bust your ass.
She'll get compensated.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it still sucks that because if you're putting in that fight camp, then you want to get to the fight. Because the way I view it is, I don't think Amanda's afraid of anybody. She's proven, even the people that she's lost to, she's a way different fighter than she was, prior to winning the belt or belts.
This might be a terrible way to look at this, but this might be a blessing for Juliana Pena. Like, this might be the best thing that happened for her. You know what I mean? Like, you get a Amanda Nunes when she's back from COVID. Like, maybe she's not 100%. This might be a good thing for her. I don't know. I mean, that's not a good way of looking at it. Like, nobody wishes that on anybody, but if that's it, I don't know. This, like we said, all the stars have to align for her to win that fight, and this could be one of them stars aligning right now.
If there's anybody that could bend over COVID and take it from behind, it's Amanda Nunes, though. So
that's true.
So honestly, she's a brute.
Yeah.
And then
we wish a speedy recovery and everything like that.
Yeah, I hope that it doesn't have the long-term effects that it seems to be having on like Khamzat Chimaev and like even Cody Garbrandt. Which is a good segue, but Cody just didn't look the same after the injuries that he had after he got COVID. Like, COVID kicked his ass.
Yeah.
So, and then just the last thing that I had, Cody is for sure dropping to flyweight. He's scheduled to fight Kai Kara-France in, I think, either late November or December, is what they're trying to get scheduled. And he basically, in his post, when he announced that he was dropping to flyweight, he posted a picture of Sean O'Malley and said he was like, well, you're going to have to wait for this because I got to go clean out another division.
Yeah.
Obviously,
he also shit on him and said something, and then I don't remember who it was. Somebody from Alpha Male was talking shit too, saying, LOL, can't believe they had these men cart him off for a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Like, just shitting all over him. Like, damn, that was fucking rude.
And
so that'll be interesting to see how he does at flyweight.
Yeah, hopefully he can make that cut well, and hopefully he's fully recovered from all those,
injuries and
injuries and the sickness and everything.
I
Because
think
he didn't look the same when he
this.
fought Rob Font. He didn't look like his old.
He got
self.
jabbed to oblivion.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that
him
was
dropping down.
Yeah, we talked about this. I think last week or the week before.
He gave
that
no
was
indication. That was just like, something that we were like, dude, if he really wants to challenge, he's gonna have to drop down.
Yeah.
And then for him to drop down, like.
Well, he was saying that he would drop down to fight. This was on Figueiredo. This was before Moreno. He said that fight intrigued him, but he said he wanted to try and get that 135-pound belt first and then do like a super fight, kind of like what TJ and Cejudo did. But the thing is Brandon Moreno was on Food Truck Diaries with Brendan Schaub, and he was saying that, obviously he would like to do a third fight with Figueiredo just because, why not? But he also said that he welcomes that challenge because Cody is a big name and he has been a champion. So that'd be a fun, entertaining fight too, is Moreno versus Garbrandt. So
if Garbrandt keeps that power at that weight class, god damn. Like,
and the thing is I just want to see if his speed will still be the same. Because he looked like he was just a step behind against Font, but that could also be because Font, just the game plan that Font implemented was very jab oriented, so distance striking. I didn't really have anything else. Obviously, we've got UFC 265 coming up on Saturday, so I would like for us to try and get an episode in on either Thursday or Friday before that goes live. And that fight card's headlined by Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane. Also on the main card, Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz, Michael Chiesa versus Vicente Luque, Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill. I don't know about that, but Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny. Oh, Bobby Green's coming back. Bobby Green's fighting. And Karolina Kovacevic fell from the graces, man. She's on the prelims too.
5-round wars to
getting knocked out by Jessica Andrade to it's like Jesus. So that's gonna be a fun card. I think. Obviously I wish that Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes were fighting on that card too, but it'll be fun for Houston to have Derek Lewis there. I saw a post today, and it made me think of your guys' Darren Elkins pick. And it was basically, it's like, when you look at like the striking, obviously Cyril Gane's the more superior striker. You look at the ground game, Cyril Gane's got a better ground game. You look at submissions, you look at takedown, all this other stuff. It's like, for the Frenchman, and you just see a French flag. And then it's like, with that being said, I'm taking Derek Lewis by third round knockout. And I was like, it's fucking Trenton and Jeffrey. They're like, he has no right to win this fight. Therefore, he's going to win this fight. And so when we do our picks, I can already tell you now, I'm picking Derek Lewis because the odds are stacked against him. But there's no reason why, they're in Houston.
It's weird because that's when he shines.
I know. Like Curtis Blades, I was like, dude, Curtis Blades is gonna kick his legs apart from the outside and then wrestle fuck him.
Yeah.
And then all it took was just one uppercut, just fucking you can right up the middle.
Same thing with was
Volkov. Yeah, when Volkov was kicking his ass the whole fight. And all it took was last 30 seconds, and then he just.
Yep.
I just love me the post-fight interviews. That's Lewis.
My balls was hot. My balls was hot.
So I don't know if this is new news either, but I did see one more thing. I saw it mentioned that UFC is trying to reschedule Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez.
It got confirmed. It's going to be in November at some point, or October, late October or early November. Which, thank God, because that's going to be a fun fight. But
that should be a good one.
Did you
I
guys
really
see-
hope Max just takes that title fight. If he wins this fight, which he should, I hope he takes the title fight and is like, do not offer me any other fights except for whoever wins out of Ortega and Volkanovski.
Speaking of that, was going to segue into my preview ahead. I was looking at 266, dude. That's a banger card. That's a banger card. It's Volkanovski and Ortega, Shevchenko and Lauren Murphy, Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler, Blades, Rosenstrike, Andrade, and Calvillo. Like, it is a fucking banger card.
And probably some of the Ultimate Fighter finales and shit like that, I would imagine, be on that card.
Yeah. No, the Ultimate Fighters, they do that separate. They don't do that. They won't do that on a pay-per-view card.
On a pay-per-view, okay.
Yeah, they won't do it.
But that card is fucking fire.
Dude, and then the week before that is going to be Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze. That's going to be a fun one too.
So maybe that's the one they do the
maybe, and that's when they scheduled the Kevin Lee and Sean Brady fight for also the one that fell through. Yeah. But they don't, dude. Here's the thing: they have stuff already set up for the fight night. You know, Barboza and Chikadze fight night card. But if you look at Cannonier versus Gastelum, they're the only. That's literally 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like from Saturday, they don't have any other fights on there except Gastelum and Cannonier.
Yeah.
So
sometimes that means they have like big fights in the woodworks that they're going to announce and they just throw it on there real quick. You know what I mean? True. I've seen that happen numerous times. We're like, well, here's a fan favorite fight that's happening right here on this one, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is by far our shortest podcast, but obviously, Trenton, you got shit going on, and Jeffrey, you got shit going on too. So,
always.
We'll end we'll end the episode here. Hopefully on. I'm down for Thursday or Friday, whatever works
Thursday
best
or
for
Friday.
you guys.
I'll make one work Thursday or Friday, depending on when we can.
And the biggest thing is, you know, obviously because it's a pay-per-view, hopefully we can do a little bit longer of an episode just because it's a pay-per-view card. And then we can get right back onto our picks and see if now Jeffrey can catch up to Trenton and I, because Jeffrey's now trailing.
We're all
I had some bad beats. I had some bad beats on the last card, gentlemen.
I'll be honest, I'm really glad that we didn't do a preview and prediction for the Hall and Strickland, because all the fights that I thought, like I picked just blindly because I didn't know literally like 90% of the fighters on the card. So all the picks that I made, like I picked Uriah Hall. I was thinking he was going to finish Sean Strickland, and I was completely wrong. I got like maybe one fight pick correct. I was like, man, I would have been in the stinker. I would have too. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll end it on that. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment on the posts. And then if you're listening to us in podcast platforms, whether it's, you know, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, all those wonderful outlets, please make sure to download the episode. And also, I created a Facebook page. So check us out on Facebook too. Lay and Pray MMA Podcast is what we're listed as. So other than that, I don't have anything else, guys.
All right,
man.
All right, sweet. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you very much. Later.
Yep.